Well, you know him as Karen's frenemy in Will and Grace, his roles in American Horror Story. He's an author, actor, Southern Baptist salubtant. It's Leslie Jordan. You guys know him, and you can see him tonight at Martini's above 4th. We're so happy to have you here again.
Again and again.
Yeah, you just keep coming back.
Thank you. Martini's is one of my favorite. I do about 44 venues a year.
When are you ever home? Are you ever home?
Rarely. You know, in between it's a great gig to do in between all the TV stuff because it's my gig.
Yeah.
You know, I have a marketing firm that sets it up, and I do cruises.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I'll do anything.
And nobody censors you on these shows, right? No. One-man show, Leslie Jordan, no holds barred. Now, this is kind of a continuation of your previous solo show, you would say.
Well, people say, are you on tour? I said, for 30 years.
Yeah.
I've been on tour. You know, Lily Tomlin produced me for years.
Okay.
She saw me and said, you know, your stuff is so funny. And her wife, Jane Wagner, produced me, and we went at the West End of London. I mean, that was in the fancy days.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I said, Lily said, you don't need a set, because I would travel with a set, like kind of like a southern front porch with, you know, wicker and iced tea. And she said, you and a mic.
That's it.
You and a mic. That's all you need. And then we could save $1,600.
Very smart. How are you exposing yourself on stage? Not physically, mentally.
No. It's just a little bit about, it's almost like a musician putting together a set list. I just have so many stories, having worked with so many people over the years.
Yeah.
And I'll think, well, you know, this would be a good crowd for Will and Grace stories, or this would be a good crowd. If it's a younger crowd, they love stories about American Horror Story.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of put together a set list, and I have never had a complaint. So.
Well, so Martini's Above 4th is in Hillcrest, so primarily a really gay and lesbian LGBTQ community. So are you going to focus on certain stories?
It's like a homo hoedown. So.
Was that a homo hoedown? You said it, not me.
We have so much fun.
Yeah.
Martini's is one of those places where I know, you know, I can get away with a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you go to Texas and you're doing, you know, a music hall in Arlington or something, you think, well, I can't talk dirty. But here I can talk dirty.
You can get away with a lot, for sure.
And that's part of knowing, you know, your crowd, too, and doing it for so many years.
Do you ever get tired of it?
You know, I never do.
Okay.
There's times when I think to myself, you know, and because I leave here and I've got 8 nights in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, that's a hard
Mexico.
life, Leslie, my goodness.
And then, you know, I've got to stay around LA for a while because it's pilot season. I had a series last year called The Cool Kids on Fox that wasn't picked up, so I'm back where I started.
Okay. But that's like the grind of the job here. Very masochistic, wouldn't you say?
It is.
You get punished, but you keep coming back for more.
I'll be on a TV show and I'll see some kid acting out, or I think, you know, one series doth not a career make.
No.
You need to stop that. Yeah. Because you need to behave, because word spreads, and I've been at it for so long now that, but you know, there's always something. We just shot our last Will and Grace, Forever and Ever and Ever.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I wasn't in the finale. I was doing American Horror Story, so they had a whole storyline going. But when you see, I'm sworn to secrecy, but the week before the finale, what they cooked up for Beverly Leslie is so hilarious. So I've got that, and then there's 3 or 4 more seasons of American Horror Story. So
which is such a great show, my goodness.
That's work. That's tough. Yeah. Those are 14-hour days with a lot of blood and gore, and, you know, that's work.
What's the hardest part of that? I mean, besides the long days?
Is laying there with that. They make blood out of corn syrup. Yeah. So they'll just put it all over you. And I remember once my guts had been pulled out, and I'm lying there in the dirt, and the pigs were supposed to eat me. And Kathy Bates was in the scene with me, and all she had to do was poke me. So they go, cut. Miss Bates, are you okay? And I'm lying there with a pig eating my guts. I said,
hello, what about here?
They said, you haven't won an Oscar, do you?
It's kind of like doing stand-up comedy. You're up on stage with your guts out and just waiting for that reaction, right? Have you ever gotten booed or had any negative reactions that you remember?
Never. I've had a lot of drunks over the years.
Oh, really? Well, speaking of that, though, You yourself, I think this is a very positive thing. You've been sober for
22 years.
22 years. So that's
I'm the
awesome
one that
for
you would think would put up with the person that's drinking. I just tell them, shut your hole, honey. Mine's making money.
Yeah.
Shut it. Shut it. Shut it.
What's
Nobody
your hole
paid
doing?
to hear or see you.
There
and
you
you
go.
know, most of the drunks, they're not. They just want to kind of be a part of it.
Yeah.
But you know, shut.
Leslie, you're going to be Martinis Above Fourth tonight, tomorrow. I bet you there's barely any tickets left. So if you're watching now, I would go get them right now. We've got the information up on the screen. You can go check out the website for more. Thank you so much for being here. We love when you're here. So please come back.
I will.
Back to you guys.
So recognizable.
Yes.
I mean, there is not one person who probably doesn't walk by him and go, I know exactly who you are and